if you remember when we talked behind the cafe.
Okay, nobody and no.
Yeah,
nothing.
when you were explaining the 5 N's.
Okay.
And in general, I would like to talk about this nothingism. And
Yeah, they have rules of how to make poetic sentence. I told you, for them, what's poetry? It's speaking of nothing, or the words from nothing. I don't know how to translate it. Or the poetry should tell nothing, or talking about nothing. It's not talking, I mean, not normal conversation, but the mean of the sentence, it should be tell you what nothing. Yes, that's the main rule, and it's about what's nothing, and how is it, and how it's showing up itself in your feeling, or in your mind, or in your thought, or in your language, and how it rules the beings, or poetry.
is it good translation? Nothing and
In English for nothing,
yeah.
it's straight translation directly. If you searching for it, that's mean nothing. Hiç neme in Uyghur. But it's not like in English nothing. But in English also there's the word, it's nothing. It's like two part, like no thing. It's a thing. It's not nothing here. There's something, but it's nothing, you know. It's not anything, but anything on it. It's a pure empty shape of the thing, the space and the time of the thing, and there can be one thing, like even table, whatever, what. Any space on nothing or nowhere. Any time on nothing or no time. We don't have exactly word for English for no time.
Yeah, no time. There is no time.
You
at
have
all.
in Serbian how to say it?
Mm.
I never go there, like no any time.
Nikada.
Yeah, nikada.
Nikada, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nikada, okay. Yes. No time.
Never.
Yeah, never. But it's not only never, also for future, yeah. It's like there cannot be have time feeling when we say it in original language. It's
no time.
There
is no
time
sign of time.
Yeah,
time.
You're not really thinking about time there, but when you say that word, but in English we say never. It make me thinking long time and blah blah. No any second.
No existing of a second.
Because all second exists on it. So the second cannot show it. Only it can show your second. Or all the calculate and the times, science stuffs. Because he give you the time feeling, and you get it the time feeling, and you want to calculate it by yourself. But originally, it's the thing, the passing, the being, the motion without calculate.
No calculator. No time. So is there like this verb we are trying to find?
It's original time, not physical or science-ly.
Any
Or
sign of,
astronomically.
there is no any sign of any kind of time.
Yeah. There are no future, no past, no now. Yeah. Because the being of it, it's pure being without you give him some content. Without content, it's empty. All time feeling about like, okay, child, young, older, and how many years, how much time, how long is it? It's content. Give it by yourself, by hours, who inside the time. But time inside the no time. What's exactly truly passing by us when we feeling time is passing? So it's connected to what's the time.
What is passing when we are thinking like something is passing?
I think we are passing, not something is passing. And maybe we are the time, what we want to name it. And this passing feeling. When I say we, it's not only the human beings, all beings here. Because you can feel the passing when you with the sun or when you with the flowers and the seasons and the planet, university.
Everybody's passing, trespassing.
And when you think something is passing, it's not without you. It's not out of you. Maybe only you are the passenger. You are passing right now. We. And so it's what we're feeling about time. It's about our time or about our passing, because we have limit. We will start and we will go. We will done. And every moment is passing. We. And the second one is space. When you question what's space, it's not. We're not talking about physical space. Normally, when you're asking somebody space, he will answer you physical space, like have long side, high, and like 3 directions, limit, like about size, but nowhere. The space, basic on nowhere. There should be a space for space exist. That space, original space, called nowhere. And in this nowhere, we can feel the high, we can feel the limit, and we can feel the wild, the space, physical space. And the science is always talking about that, but they cannot go back behind to the basic space, for space. Why space exists, how it can be exist, why there's even space. It's something, it's not nothing. Empty, but there's a space exists.
Yeah.
Why there's a space? Because something can make it space or give space for space. Before space, there's a space, the original one, and that's nowhere, and it's connected to nothing. And nobody, when we come to nobody, it's just today morning I was thinking about the space, and I think there's no physical space. What we're feeling, we just name it and recognize and explain like a physical space. Actually, there's only one being here, and this being same time give you passing feeling and same time give you the space feeling. You are in of it and you moving. When we call it space, and it's connect with that nowhere, and it's only the existence here. You on something, so when you on something, you call it space. And same time, when you on something, you call it pass or time. You on it, doing it, you being it, you going through it and going for it, and coming for it. Yes, and for nobody, it's like idea of how to say, when you asking yourself who are you, or who is poet, who is the guy, we call it poet, or who thinking about it, he's nobody. When you thinking about nothing, that moment you will without ID, or you are nobody. You are not Indian, you are not American, you are not slaver, you are not king, you are not rich one, you are not poor one, you are not winner, you are not loser, you are not the powerful man, you are not a weak man. Because when you think about it, you will forget yourself. And or internet, what's that word? Content from yourself. Because all content is not naturally giving by to you or follow from sky. You get it and you need to follow it. The content. It's the second thing from others. You get it from others for fool it yourself, for become a someone.
Full of content.
And nobody is the guy who without content. And the last one is nothing, nowhere, no time, nobody, nekako. Know how.
Know how, yeah.
It's you cannot say it's black, you cannot say it's dark, you cannot say you can say it's dark because not about color, not about without light, it's about because you cannot really understand it or see it, so you can call it dark. Not it's symbolic dark, you know, it's not mean without light. Yes, without light because you cannot see it. Maybe it's because in the end dark also it's a light because you can see it's dark. How you can? Because he show himself, he lighting by himself, and you can see it and you say it's dark. If it's not showing, you cannot.
What is it?
What's dark?
Yeah.
You know. So when dark exists, you can same time he's lighting by darkness. He has a light, maybe dark light, whatever he's showing. So nekako, it's like it's about how you describe it.
Nikako. There is no way.
It's about describe. It's about how you describe it. It's like, you know, people always say like a bad or good, like all two kinds of like less or more, like big, small, or powerful or weak, man and woman, white and black. But nekako, nothing itself, it without high, without deep, without white, without black, everything in it, but it's not in this describe. You cannot describe it like without, it's white without black, or it's black without white. It's not goodness.
It's not black. It's not white.
It's not goodness. It's so that's nekako. So
Nikako.
I mean, know-how.
Know-how. Nikako.
So
know-how.
That's
nothing. Nothing is happening. It's not this. It's not this side.
No,
it's
something
not
is
this
happening,
side.
but you cannot describe it like one side, or it's not pure light. It's not pure dark. It's about human mind always have light side and dark side, but nothing. It's just one shape. It's pure. It not has two side or two different shape, or only one. No. Especially he's not only goodness, or he's not only evil. And like God and Satan. That's religion makes the two thing, but itself it's one thing. You can describe its pure goodness, like heaven and hell. Nothing itself, heaven and hell.
And from that point, how to answer to the worst question ever? How are you? From know-how. From know-how.
Yes.
To answer to the question, how are you?
Last one is know-how. Yeah. But I cannot answer that because, it's easy
not
for
you, not anybody.
For
there
daily.
is no.
Yeah, that's 5 elements for nothing then. And the kind of rules and the philosophy, basic knowledge about the poetry, like poetry philosophy of poetry. Yeah. And they hate prosa synthesis. we even have more avant-garde poetess. They want to make they have good wish, they have good heart, like they want to make it free, more free. How much free is it can be? Like they just make some prosa synthesis and really stupid synthesis in it, just because that moment they feeling it like that. But they still on the first step for being a poet. Not only write it down what you're feeling. You need to go into the cure of feel. Okay, you can follow your feeling, but you should know what you're feeling, follow it. Feel also have something to follow, and there is a feeling, and you will follow the feeling and you go to it. But that poetess, they just want to make a difference. They just want to, because in mainly they never answer about what's poetry. They still confusing. They don't know exactly what poetry should be, what poetry should talk, but they know how it look like poetry.
Yeah.
And they make it sentence like some strange and sometimes meaningless and sometimes to daily stuffs, just because they want to telling others what the feeling of him only for personality in the reality. But it's not make sense, and it's not about it. You can say to anyone about it, why you hiding it and write it down in poetry? It's like a pussy like it's not poetry work. It's not about Yes, poetry is a sacred language, but it's not about your daily sacred. It's sacred about something else. Okay, so they hate prosa synthesis, and they don't think, they hate culture, they hate civilization, and at the same time they hate religion. Not hate, and yes, you know. And
Not
so you cannot
respecting any.
It's not respect. It's not that
Not respecting.
nihilism. Is that called nihilism? Nihilism.
Not really.
Nihilism. Yeah. In
It's nothing.
I mean,
That's not.
I mean the word in English. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because all our people also first time when they heard about nothingism, they will think we are not we are. They are nihilism. Nihilist. They don't agree with culture, history. They think everything is bullshit. Everything is meaningless. No, nothing. Never think everything is meaningless. They think only main thing is nothing. Only the. It's like they name it existing is nothing. Like the meaningful and the true the thing, they call it nothing. It's not you don't agree with you like not like nihilist, like they don't agree with government, whatever, like they accept nothing except everything, because everything is from nothing. When nihilists say nothing, there's what I say before, like nothing, no anything, even exist, no exist. That's wrong, because never have that situation exist, not exist. So nothingness just calls that source, and it just writing for it, and it just follow it. Maybe because of that they will look like a nihilist. They will not accept religion, rules, blah blah. But it's not for against that. It's just for really follow the truth. Like for true God, you need to broken all fake God. But nihilists, they just want to broke everything. They just want to broke even true God, whatever God, any God. So they run away from really thinking, serious thinking. When you're talking about God, okay, God is bullshit, go away. No, it's you need to seriously answer first, or question first, what's God? Because the nihilist and the religion people thinking same. When religion people thinking also, okay, there's a God, he creates the world, we need to follow or pray to him. And the nihilists think same as them, and they say, fuck you. They say God is create us, blah blah, it's bullshit. But they don't have the answer, what's the God, about what's the God. But they follow something, whatever they don't accept God, but they always follow something else. We also can call it God, whatever they want to liberality or free of body or human mind. That's a God for them, or Zionist. But nothingness also don't agree with Zionist, because Zionist language is not poetic language, and they always calculate, and they only make attention about the material or the physical exist. But exist, it's not only physically exist. Scientists never can see something doesn't exist. They or we cannot see. How to say? We cannot find from microscope, or the atom. Okay, they say this all thing make this atom. No poet will thinking like that. It's not something like created but one by one part and make full about material or your. They cannot question or answer the basic question. So, what's the atom or why they running away? Why there exist? Say, for science language exist is material exist. For religion exist is, how can I call it? Yeah, for religion exists in some holy light, but they cannot see the dark part of exist. Same as science. They are exactly same actually. Any ism for me.
But look, but how to make nothingism without any science?
You don't need science for poetry. What you need?
What?
Which science you need for poetry?
No science.
So what? Nothingism, it's not about time. Whatever 1,000 years before, 2,000 years before, they can say same thing. For now, because whole world full of technology and the science stuff, so we can compare with science. But we don't need to talk about that even. Science is not poetry. It's not art at all. Did you need any science? Did you use anything from your school in your artwork? What you need?
But just some science.
Like what?
Some letters and something.
In your poetry or in your, okay, even prosa, even your novel. Okay, novel you need it because somebody will talk about science. But poetry, it's as original or original language, original thing. It's speak out like the first time you speak it. And it's like first time you thinking about that thing or topic, what you're talking about in poetry. You can never get any idea before you thinking about it. It's you should start from zero. So it's also connected nothingism. It's start from nothing. There is no basic knowledge or kindergarten education for you. Like you cannot say, okay, in science says that, so
you didn't learn anything.
You never been any school when you be in that situation. You need to forget about all your knowledge, all your information, and it just get original, pure information from the source. And it's not like any information at all. So it's become like a poetic synthesis, because words, the things, when they come from the source, they mix it.
It's
and
first
it's crazy.
First appeal,
Yeah. Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah. And always, when you every time reading about it, it's not only when you first time write it. It should give you same feeling or so. When you keep it in original place, in the way of thinking, whatever it, where it or when, it gives you the first water each time when you read it. Because it is not about 30 years after it becomes some old poetry or something else, or not good with the time. So it's not about time. Poetry not about time. So you also can connect with why nowhere it's there in poetic writing.
Yes.
And you can, whatever who you are, you can think about it or enjoy about it. So it's about nobody. And you know whatever where you are, where you grow, whatever South America or Asia, you can think in same thing without any connect. So there's the nobody here. So nobody is everyone. In everyone, or in your core, in your source. That's it, yeah.
Nobody talking to nobody.